Hey, what's up, folks? Kevin with GC Sherpa. Thank you for joining us tonight for the presentation of your blueprint for search domination, a new SEO and GEO formula for general contractors. So we're going to jump right in here. Follow along and feel free to just raise a hand if you need to ask any questions, and we'll go from there. So thanks for joining us. First off, this is not going to be too long of a presentation, but if you would, just please try and turn off cell phones so it doesn't distract us, no scrolling on Facebook. A lot of this can be a little bit technical if you're not familiar with SEO, and so we want to make sure you don't get lost in everything. And if you're a general contractor who is trying to get more exposure online, then hopefully you're going to come away with some nuggets here that will help you get to where you need to go. And as always, if you're stuck, if you're not sure, feel free to book some time with us. Happy to help you out. This is what we do day in and day out. What we're going to cover today, we're going to look at some of the latest updates on the Google algorithm. We're going to talk about big topic AI, which would be the answer engines, AEO, ask engine optimization, shaking up the market, big shakeup, things you might already have in place that could be hurting you right now, and then how to optimize your website for this new format. So this kind of repeats a theme that we talk about a lot. So 9 clear steps to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right. This is how you sort of start the process, which is driving leads. This is how you turn leads into customers. And then this is how you retain and optimize and tweak things over time to maximize the revenue and profit that you're able to drive from your company. So just to recap this column, drive leads, you can reactivate people you've already worked with an email campaign, phone campaign, text campaign, paid traffic. This is going to be your Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, anything that you're paying for, and then organic. And the thing that really makes organic different is what it will do over time is, as an example, if you're paying $150 blended per lead on Google, then that, to some people might be a little bit more than they want to spend. Especially if, let's say you're spending $1,500 a month on Google ads, which honestly is not that much for a contractor. But organic will allow you to start getting a lower cost per acquisition because you're actually growing the traffic. So it takes longer. So it's kind of like go fast, pay a lot, start getting leads sooner, or take longer, end up with a cheaper cost per acquisition. But again, you're not going to get like a big splash like you might on ads where you have sort of like an exciting amount of traffic. It's basically short game, long game kind of scenario. So this also sort of covers like your whole marketing mix that you have. And today, again, we're going to talk about SEO. Just to highlight, you've got pay-per-click, retargeting. This is where people come to your site and then you're able to send them ads as they sort of travel around the internet. Local market authority building. So this could be things like signs, truck wraps, Chamber of Commerce, physical presence that you have in your area, repeat business and referral business. These are customers you've already acquired, so it's significantly easier to keep them than it is to sort of find new ones. Pay per lead. This is something like a Google LSA, where if you're not familiar, that's a local service area ad. And I'm sorry, licensed local service area. Basically, this is where Google is authenticating you as a business and they're vouching for you. The trade-off is they're so tight about what they allow and don't allow that if somebody calls you in that program and you miss the call because you're on a job or something, they will definitely ding you and you will not get as many calls, and that will hurt your authority in the program. So if you're thinking about setting up LSAs, that is, you need to have a 24/7 phone service. Doesn't have to be a live person, but like somebody has to answer the phone, even if it's automated, around the clock. And then you have social media and you have referrals, which, kind of connected to this, repeat and referral. This is where you're sort of like organically getting referrals. And then this is where you're actually incentivizing referrals. Could be a joint venture with a bank, with an interior design company, other kind of like trade partner, where you're encouraging other people to provide you with new business. So who am I? If you're here, you probably saw our content. You may be brand new. You may be have followed us for a little while. But I'm the founder of GC Sherpa. We are a marketing agency that only works with general contractors, and ideally those that are trying to grow. On the residential side, that's usually leads. That's usually trying to grow the revenue of the business. And on the commercial side, that could be building a trade base. It could be hiring. A lot of times it's like people don't necessarily think about a commercial business using marketing to hire, but that's one of the biggest needs we find. We design, launch, and optimize contractor websites. I've worked in the general marketing and design industry for 20 years at this point, across a variety of things, doing tons of projects for tons of clients. And a few years ago, we basically fell in love with contractors and wanted to make this our primary focus. So we've been doing this for a little bit over a year, specifically in the contracting space, and have definitely had a lot of great things happening. So we try and keep things simple. So I think one of my strengths is communication. And so we can take these complex topics and explain them in a way that somebody who's not technical, not a coder, knows nothing about computers can still understand it and feel like you have a little bit of ownership about what's happening. So we have kind of a starting point where contractors that are below 500,000, very difficult for us to be able to latch on to our programs. We offer a lot of free content to kind of help you get to a higher level. And then otherwise, the sky is kind of the limit. We've worked with billion-dollar construction companies that are acquired by international conglomerates. So we've kind of have seen the full gamut of this industry. And we try and keep strategy clear and the results real. Just a couple of examples of people we work with. Again, Plaza Construction, we did website work for them years ago. They were acquired by, I think, a Chinese company, and multi-billion-dollar company, PML, Xiaomi, smaller companies, Valley Contracting, Chisano, and we've got something for everybody. So appreciate the fact that you're here and hope you get something out of what we work on today. Our mission, again, just is that we want to help general contractors grow with clarity, confidence, and control. We want to build marketing systems that meet you where you are in your business and also look at what the customer is doing in the buyer journey and to help expedite and clarify a sales cycle so that you're not spending money on things that we don't think are going to work and taking more time than what we think it is. So our program is meant to be what we feel is most effective for the type of work that our clients want to sell. So does SEO still matter? Let's start with that fundamental question right now. And of course, the answer is yes. So this is a breakdown of organic versus paid traffic. When we get an AI, we will talk about that also. I'm going to side note right here. I just saw an update today that ChatGPT and I don't know if it was Gemini, one of the other what do you call it? Ask engines, the AI platforms. They both saw an increase in web traffic over this past year, whereas Google and Bing, who are the titans of search, actually saw a dip in traffic. So this is where it's extremely important to be ready for the future wave of the AI search. Yes, SEO still matters. What is AEO GEO? We talked about it before, but that's Ask Engine Optimization and Generative Engine Optimization. So answer, ask, whatever. Answer engine optimization focuses on creating content. Answers common questions. So it used to be like contractor near me, and you would show up in a Google search. And then now it might be, and we've actually had a social media feature about this where I was taking pictures of the old bathroom in my house and asking ChatGPT questions about what I should do to remodel the bathroom. And then I highlighted at the end of that thread of me asking it questions, I said, please recommend contractors in my area that can do this job. And it spit out very specific answers, and also why. And it said like this, contractors specialize in bathrooms. They have great Google reviews. Like they're looking at the total package of what you're offering online. And so again, like honestly, it does a lot of things. It anchors prices because it's giving me rough estimates. It's giving me timelines, and then it's showing me like based on the work that those contractors have on their website, and based on what I'm talking about doing, which one do they think is going to be the best match for me? So huge opportunity if you're not leaning into that yet, if you can get there before everybody else in your market. This is just an example of basically in one of the chat GPT programs. So like, who are the best home remodelers in Poughkeepsie, New York? This is one of our clients, and this is where like they're coming up in that ranking, because we've gone through the work to get them optimized in answer engine optimization. So here's some search volume. So over the years, so it used to be 78% of contractor related searches was Google and Bing, 22%. And then you can already see the trend where like it's dropping 10 to 15%, and this is increasing 10 to 15%. So that is a trend that is not going anywhere anytime soon. Google's still king for direct service-based searches and local intent. For your immediate work, like damage, for fixes, for plumbers, all that stuff. Google is going to give the people the things that they need immediately, but for things that are more like discussion based, again, like people workshopping ideas and talking about long-term projects, I believe that you are going to see more of that happening in chat. Again, yes, the FAQ, the educational comparison based. Yes, SEO still matters. You can't rely just on pay-per-click if you're running that. As long as there are things to find, and as long as humans are still hunter-gatherers, there's always a need for people to find things. This is talking about rank factor categories. This is like what Google is looking at to rank you. So like the core thing is EAT, expertise, authority, trust. And then here, experience. So if there's a tiebreaker where like two companies look the same, they are going to rank the best experience. So what is the page load? What is the speed? The page loads, speed of clicking things. So anything is mobile responsive. Is the SSL there? Are there like pop-ups that are annoying? Like, what is it like experiencing those sites based on what Google is doing? And then here's like a whole technical list of things, which if you have your website hooked up to Google Search Console, it's constantly giving you an audit saying like, hey, this is wrong. We want you to fix that. And you think about like, what is SEO work over time? A lot of it in terms of the on page is just fixing things. So that's, here's like all of this, the content. I just read today about how more dollars are shifting away from necessarily like ads, where it's like, you're paying for the Facebook ads, you're paying for the Google ads, and it's going more towards like what they call earned media. So that's PR, people writing about you, like you working with like a blogger to write about you, or like a PR firm, or like getting things. And the reason for that is Google understands that everybody's utilizing AI now. Google understands that everybody, sort of like, I'm going to use the word games the system to optimize everything for Google rankings and for these chat rankings. But you can't game earned media as easily as other things. And so the podcasts that are linking back to you, which are like not just fly by night, like it's somebody is literally producing a piece of content that is like linking to a site, that is going to be significantly more valuable than like something you bought or something that you kind of like did a technical optimization to achieve. ChatGPT, I'm not going to go all the way through this, but just like to get included on ChatGPT, you want to have like your ratings and reviews, because again, like they're going to look at what are people saying about your company, how long you've been in business. They're going to look at where you serve, what your range is. Do you have 24/7 availability? And again, like I understand remodelers, commercial contractors, you're not doing emergency work, but like if you're the plumber, HVAC, people in that industry, it behooves you to have some degree of availability, even if it's like an automated system in those off hours. Um, Local presence, again, this could be a showroom, it could be an office, like having some, pretty much like lockdown location about like where you are. And again, the website needs to be good, professional, up to date. They're not going to rank a site that like looks like it was built in 2005, which, let's be honest, a lot of contractors still think that that's okay. And then your certifications, licensing, that can be trade groups, Better Business Bureau. You could put like third-party ratings, like a Yelp or something, or again, like your state licensing for contracting boards, or like if you do chemical applications, if that applies to you at all, anything that's giving you credibility. The new SEO formula, you got to figure out what your keywords are. Nothing really new there, but it's a little bit different from a traditional keyword and a chat keyword. We're going to see that. You can use these tools to sort of see what keywords are popular in your area that are relevant. And of course, you want to set up a website with unique pages targeted to those keywords. So if you do historic restoration, like one of our clients, and like that needs to be a whole page that's like not just general carpentry, not just fine millwork, but like historical restoration needs to be, like a page. And city. So in north, I live in the Northeast, I live in New York. So like we have towns and villages like every few miles, and each of those should have like a dedicated page. That's not just boilerplate content. It needs to be customized for each of those so that they're able to see, okay, they put real effort into differentiating these things. And again, user experience, site speed, core vitals. If you don't know about that, we have a lot of content out about building your website for conversions, and we would encourage you to check that out. And on site, this is kind of what we said with Google Search Console. You have to fix your technical errors, and then you have to make sure the keywords and tags and all the things that go into your on-page SEO are all sorted out. And then building your off-site authority, this is sort of what we talked about with your getting on podcasts, getting blogs written about you, having PR that goes out in Presswire, your earned media, and then tracking your results. That's kind of a thing. When people try and take this on themselves, they don't realize how much work it is, number one, to do all of this, but then two, to actually track it. And track, if you're not tracking it, then like you have no idea if it's working or not. You have no idea how to fix anything, if it's like trending in the wrong direction, like you're just kind of lost. And so that it ends up being a waste of your time and money if you don't have a system in place to course correct. The new generative engine optimization. So you're answering real questions. And this is sort of what I said, like I have an old bathroom. I put up pictures of the bathroom and said, hey, I have a leaky faucet. Hey, I think this tub needs re-enameling. Do I need to regrout this tile? And it is able to turn that into a dialogue that, one, helped me make buying decisions, and then two, recommended a whole bunch of contractors that in my area that specialize in that kind of work. The funny thing is none of those contractors are currently marketing to me at all. So again, like I'm the prime demographic in my area of like somebody who's looking at a remodel, and again, like nobody is bothering to do this, and at the same time they'll complain like business is bad. It's like, well, it's because you're not doing it. Like you're expecting a business to just fall in your lap as opposed to actually going out and getting it. So and at the same time, this is a diversion. They'll say, oh, anybody with a truck can be a contractor these days. It's too competitive. Like there's no quality standards. And it's like, okay, so basically you had it easy for a long time, and then now that it's competitive, you think it's like not fair. So sorry, but I'm in a competitive industry and I'm competing with people all over the world, and I'm digging in and I'm not going anywhere because I want to win for our clients and for our business. So knuckle up, get out there and see the writing on the wall that this stuff isn't going anywhere. So this is all technical stuff. They love clear formatting. You're basically spoon feeding AI the data. And so I'm just going to go through a couple of these. Like, you can test your content. You can put it into the tools and say, hey, is this easy for you to read? And it'll say, yeah, I can index that easily. And citations, all this stuff. Recapping, this is all for your generative engine optimization. So it's going to talk about what we did on page, putting out the blog content, signal engine. This is like a tool that distributes blog content almost like a PR newswire, and specifically is very readable for AI search. And then the things that they want to see are like the expertise, authority, trust, that EAT. This is a technical thing, a do follow link back to the website. GMB, whenever you see this, that's Google My Business. You can embed a map in your website, and so they like that, like your Google Business map. Putting that into the site really helps, and then having like fresh content all the time. That's a quality indicator that like your business is operating and moving, and you're not dead in the water. So even though it might seem like I don't have anything to talk about, I'm not going to blog, like, you need to find something to talk about, even if it's for the sake of just getting found on these searches. You got to make sure that you have your map, which, for GMB can be an enormous pain in the butt, but you need to get over that hurdle. Citations, this puts you on other sites. Like, there are directory sites on the internet that are basically like yellow pages. And I don't know how much like a person is actually going to it, but for like the internet, they use these things. So like, I think one of them might actually be like whitepages.com. They're very generic. For contractors, actually things like your House, Angie's List, Thumbtack, what else? Better Business Bureau. Those are high quality citations that actually do help if you're on there and have a link on those sites rating back to your site. And again, like, one of the big drivers is that review. So getting 5-star reviews. I understand, like, for smaller contractors, you might only do 5 jobs a year, but like, you need to have 5 reviews out of those. And if there's anything you can do to pop in like a more rapid service, even if it's like a separate crew, or you say, hey, look, like 2 days a month, I'm gonna have an offer where I do small jobs for people, but you're gaming up those reviews, like, that will help you significantly get those bigger jobs. So you have to start looking at your service offering as almost an outreach tool to be able to attract new customers through having a better review flow. We have a workbook here, so if you want to jot that down, I'm just going to put it in the chat also. You can download that. Just going to drop this in the chat. Kind of breaks down a lot of what we just discussed. This also is a keyword list where you can look at for not only traditional SEO, but also for these ask engines. And you can get an idea about how you should be targeting content on your site. And it just kind of breaks that down. You'll notice that like your city on here is one of the things, and that could be like multiple cities. So, it could be, Dallas and Fort Worth and Grapevine, as an example out there. This is showing the difference between general contractor, home remodeling, renovation. And then here you see the difference for like an AI search term. It's like best general contractor near me. this kind of thing, like who's the best remodeler, affordable home remodeler. Like it's more of a phrase that's like asking a question versus just like the bullet keyword. On site, just kind of recapping a lot of this stuff. It's got to be good, fast, clear, easy to read, accessible, have like different kinds of media on there. So pictures, videos, infographics, pages for services, cities. Nearby now, it's not relevant to everybody, obviously, in this call, but nearby now is something that if you have techs that are like doing daily service calls and they're moving around a lot, it basically lets you log that activity into your Google business profile so that it sees that, like, yes, you are heavily operating in that geographic area, and again, like, builds your authority as like a provider in a particular space. Unique content, keywords, titles, all classic SEO stuff there. Off page, Google business profile, which we say Google business profile, and then also GMB. I don't even remember if it used to be called or whatever, but like they changed the name, and so when people say that, it's actually the same thing. Their reviews, we talked about that. These are all like tools to automate it. You can also, if you work with us, we actually set up automation systems for you to help you do that through our proprietary CRM. Couple other things here. So it used to be you could just have a blog and you could, put out once a month or, once a week, every other week. It was like, great, SEO, we have blog, that's awesome. But it is so competitive now and it's so technical and everybody knows that. You really need to step up the game. It's got to be to eat. You got to show that you have expertise. You got to show that you have authority, and you have to have the trust. So that's the reviews. That's like building your page rank. And just in general, like everything you're doing on the internet, that it's like showing that you are authority and trustworthy, and you're not going anywhere, basically. Like you're an operation that's got skin in the game and you're not going anywhere. This is basically like showing between local map pack and then local like organic ranking. So like will it show up in like your traditional SEO versus like the map pack. Curious to know, what have you learned so far? Did you notice anything? You have questions about anything you want to share? So again, like you can raise a hand, or else we'll have questions and answer at the end. And if you have help, just post "Let's talk." We can set up a time to catch up with you, talk about what you're working on, where you're stuck, and help you kind of get things moving. And we offer, I'm going to put this in the chat. We offer market reviews anytime. You can book time with us, tell us where you are, and we'll show you what the competitive landscape looks like in your area, what your opportunities are, and basically like what the gap is between where you are and where you would need to be to start ranking up top. And again, I'm Kevin Sterling. Appreciate you being here tonight. We're going to pop into Q&A where we won't record that. We'll cut the recording. But you can call us if you want, 845-533-3309. You can email us, grow@gcsherpa.com, or come to our website, check out what we do, and what kind of results we've got for clients, and you can book a call with us there. So thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. We are going to roll into Q&A now. And yeah, thank you. This video will be available on our YouTube. So thank you all again.